and a mind-blowing future for each and every last one of us. I'm not finished. All of us that entered the 8th grade this September of 2009 were equally capable of receiving good grades, but some of us didn't realize that it's not up to mom, dad, aunts, uncles, or anyone else to achieve those good grades for us. We have to realize that we're getting older and it's time to take charge of our own lives. Our futures are in our hands, and it's up to us to make our lives worthwhile. As I end this speech, I want to thank everyone who has made my stay at Peshon worthwhile. I want to thank everyone who has befriended me and who has forever part of my life. I have not only made friends in this school, but I have made a family. Thank you.
Excuse me, it's hot, so I'm going to take this tie off. I'm going to give a short introduction. I was the president for the Kudos Youth Group, which is a youth group that is founded and run by the National Sorority of Phi Delta Kappa, which is an educational sorority. They have a youth group for both boys and girls, and since you guys are 8th graders and about to become freshmen in high school, I encourage all of you to join because it's a great experience. I did graduate from the Pingree School. It's a private school, so I am class of 2010. What up? And I will be attending Trinity College in Hartford, Connecticut in the fall. So I didn't know my title was a motivational speaker. I thought I was just speaking. So I'm going to give a little introduction on what I'm going to be speaking on. One of the most important things that you guys are going to have to realize when you get to high school is that even though you may be going to high school where the majority of the kids are black or Hispanic, one of the best tools for education is to see other cultures and meet new people. Because when you get to meet new people, you realize things about yourself and things about the society and the environment you're living in. For example, I spent the summer before my junior year in China, and I realized that by being in China, I was tired of being, in a neighborhood where I didn't have that much money, but I went to school with kids who were millionaires. And 2, I realized that I wanted more for myself. So I hope that you get a little bit of something out of what I have to say today. Diversity exists best in society when people recognize and respect their shared similarities and differences, so that all members of society can coexist peacefully. I personally believe that when we embody this ideal in our lives, our world will change for the better. Though as the world becomes more interconnected, we must make diversity a priority in order to achieve the change that we seek. In order to shape the world for the better, we must first begin by shaping ourselves. And to shape ourselves, we must live through diversity every single day, starting today. It's 2010, and despite all the doors opened by people embracing diversity, there are still people in this world who feel threatened by those different from them. As a generation, we must embrace all people so that we can show all those non-believers that even though diversity seems hard to do, it's not impossible. It's essential, but not impossible. And that by embracing other people, embracing new ideas, we will open doors to opportunities and benefits that they couldn't even imagine. As Dr. King once said, we may have all come on different ships, but we're all in the same boat now. It really doesn't matter where we came from, what we look like, what we're wearing, and how much money we got in the bank. At the end of the day, we all bleed red, so we're all really more alike than different. Ladies and gentlemen, we must make diversity an inherent part of our generation's beliefs, and use those beliefs and pass them on to future generations. We must accept and acknowledge all people regardless of any stereotypical classification or observation. We must prove to all the non-believers that diversity, once again, is essential but not impossible, and that to diversify ourselves and others is simply to love and respect all people. And that's important because love and respect is one thing that we are losing a lot more as more generations are coming up and dropping out of school, dying because of gun violence, drugs, teen pregnancy. All those things are contributing to the problems that we're facing today. We're facing new times, and new times calls for new ways of thinking. As Dale Carnegie once said, you can make more friends in 2 months by getting interested in others than you can in 2 years by trying to get others simply interested in you. There's only one race, and that is the human race. And if you don't stop looking out only for those that look like us, we're going to look around one day and find ourselves all alone. One of the best tools we have for encouraging diversity is a good education, because education is key to understanding. A failure to understand new people and new ideas is a failure to acquire knowledge. Failure to acquire knowledge is usually the result of a fear of the unknown. See, these fears of new people, new ideas, change, those are like brick walls blocking us and you all from progress. So I challenge this class, all the people in this audience, to break down that brick wall and try something new. For the 8th graders, study new cultures, study new ideas, try something that you're not used to. Talk to people whose cultural backgrounds and who come from completely different places than your own. Study something more than lyrics to hip-hop and rap songs, and stop using words that are inherently racist, because they are just as harmful to our progress as racism itself. One of the things that we have to realize is that as we move on, there's going to be obstacles in our life that will seem insurmountable, that will seem like there's no way we could possibly grasp what we're doing. But I'm telling you now, as a personal testimony, those things that you always think that you can't do, usually are just things that you're afraid to try and do and fail at. So if you stop being afraid of failure and start trying things new that are foreign to you, that seem strange, that seem like, oh, I'm too cool for that, stop doing those things. Stop telling yourself that you can't do those things, because you'll find out one day, oh, maybe I'm actually really good at that. See, one of the things that I realized is that this speech that I'm giving to you now, I actually gave as a competitive piece. I hate public speaking. Well, I don't hate it, but I dislike it greatly because a lot of people get nervous about speaking. It's not something that's easy to do, no matter how easy someone may look it or make it seem. However, because I decided that there was something maybe I should try because someone asked me to do, I realized that I can't do it. I realized that I'm actually good at it, and I realized that if I kept doing it, I could actually beat people at it and get money for it. And while money is not the most important thing in life, it is good to have, because you can try new things and get to see other things with money. Because a plane ticket is not going to buy itself. Now, there was more to this speech, including a quote I said that was in Haitian, it was in Creole. And I'm not going to give you the quote now because I really don't feel like that's where I'm trying to go with this. I'm going to wrap this up soon because it's hot once again, and I want you guys to get out of those hot gowns anyway, because I wouldn't want to sit there. But I need you guys to understand that, because when I was in 8th grade, I didn't understand any of these things. I was focused on playing video games, hanging out with my friends, and doing whatever I wanted. But you guys need to understand that even if you don't listen to your parents, you have to understand that there are things in this world that we need to, as a generation, get a hold of ourselves. We need to take control of our own futures and our own destinies. Our parents aren't always going to be there. Your teachers aren't always going to be there. Your friends aren't always going to be there. You guys need to start achieving and start excelling at things for yourself. So I leave you with this. One of the greatest things about an education is that in education, if you can't learn anything about the subject, you can learn about yourself. If you realize that you don't like math, then you should try something else. In education, no matter all the book smarts you have, is not going to replace common sense, patience, understanding, and wisdom. And the great thing I'd like to say about wisdom is that wisdom, they say that knowledge is power. But if you don't use that knowledge, you don't acquire any power. So acquired knowledge is power. And acquired knowledge is not only power, but acquired knowledge and then knowledge that you use becomes wisdom. So gain a little wisdom by using the knowledge that you guys have learned in the last couple of years and that you guys will gain over the years. There's nothing more important than a good education. But there's nothing more important than it. What's more important than a good education is that you guys try new things. Because then you'll learn about yourselves. So thank you for giving me a little bit of your time. And I hope